And when a person thinks that their whole role in the world is to make money, their whole role in the world is to acquire stuff, and everything is in their hands, they're simply self-destructing. Because even if you're succeeding today, who assured you that you're going to succeed tomorrow? And surely if you're succeeding today, your metrics are changing. Your spending habits are changing. Your needs suddenly change. When you first started, having a coffee and a donut was simply enough. Once you started making millions, suddenly, if anything less than a steak won't suffice. That's why losing is so painful for many people, so much so that many of them commit suicide. But the point is, Rabotai, the Chazon Ish is trying to teach us that one of the basic foundations of beliefs in Hashem is a complete clarity that He is the only power in the world that can control your sustenance, your well-being, or the opposite, chas v'shalom. And if the fellow Jew is indeed acting improperly against the law, it is possible that it is about him that it is said, what it says in the Gemara Masechet Ta'anit, page 29a, that Hashem causes a person who is already guilty to become the agent to deliver another's punishment. In other words, that this evildoer becomes the tool to bring about the troubles that have been decreed for the other. But if this act is in accordance with the law of the Torah, this is not a bad mission at all and does not affect at all what is coming to this other person, who will not lack anything as a result of this act. This last part is critical to understand. Because thus far we said no one can hurt you or help you without Hashem decreeing it. But we see, practically speaking, people do hurt you or do help you. Somebody did give you a job and help promote you to become very successful. Somebody did fire you and cause you to lose a job. Somebody took advantage of you and stole a bunch of money from you, borrowed money from you, didn't pay back. So we see that there are people that cause you good or bad. So the Chazon Ish says, sure, we're not saying it doesn't exist, that people don't cause you good or cause you bad, but they're not acting on their own. They're not acting on their own. They're simply being utilized by the same God that fed you yesterday and the day before and will feed you tomorrow, Be'ezrat Hashem. That same God is using them as simply a pawn to deliver either the sustenance, the blessing, or the curse. That person is used as a tool by Hashem. Why? Because the Gemara in Masechet Ta'anit says, Megalgelin zchut al yedei zakai vechova al yedei chayav. In the Bet Din of heaven, HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges everyone. Not just when they die, on a daily basis. When a person goes to sleep, the neshama goes up to Shamayim, tells the heavenly Bet Din what it did. Not with words, but the angels that show up with it. Bad angels show up as sins. We are the witnesses that he made such and such sins. Sign here, neshama. Signed. If he did mitzvot, she did mitzvot. She walked around modestly. She kept Shabbat. She said blessings and so on and so forth. The angels she created show up to Shamayim. We are the angels, witnesses, that she made these mitzvot. Neshama, signed. Wake up. She wakes up, Modeh ani lefanecha, remembers nothing of what just happened moments ago in the Bet Din of heaven. But those actions that took place at that night when she was sleeping and when he was sleeping, that are going to determine what will happen to them in the future. Not just when they die, could even be that day. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu sees who is righteous and who is wicked on a day-to-day basis, who is still sleeping spiritually and who needs to be woken up urgently, who is awake and alert and deserves a blessing, perhaps even a miracle, who is simply careless and needs a wake-up call like no other. Everyone has their own account that they give in Shamayim every single day. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to give each one of them their Parnassa. Sometimes the Parnassa is money. Sometimes it's a slap in the face. It's getting fired. It's going on the wrong path and being late to an appointment. It's having a toothache. It's Shem Yishmor, having a car accident. Sometimes that Parnassa comes in different ways. Because he has to give you all these things. Now, those things that he gives people, he has to use tools that are of the nature of this world. He's not going to use the supernatural that's obvious for everybody to see. He's not going to send Malach Gavriel, Michael, Raphael walking around. Oh, this guy, sinner, pah, he slaps him. The other one, pah, slaps him. No, it doesn't work that way. He has to use the tools of the world that he created. The cars, the planes, the dentist, the lawyers, the doctors. He has to use all these different things. And now, a person that has a bill to pay and Hashem sends him messages, doesn't wake up. Sends him a text message, doesn't wake up. Sends him a video, doesn't wake up. Sends him a phone call, doesn't wake up. Sends him a letter, doesn't wake up. Even the Be'ezrat Hashem Tikkun Brit movie he ignores. Doesn't wake up. So, Kadosh Baruch Hu has to send him a bigger message. Bigger message. Alright? He has all of his attention on his investments. Everything is going good. His portfolio has increased by 200, 300% over the last couple of years. He feels like everything is good, even though a few things can be fixed. Perhaps the fact that he just found out that his wife is cheating on him hurts a little bit, and the kids don't like him, hurts a little bit. Everybody's happy that he has all this money. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you're not getting the message, the wife, the kids, you're not getting the message, so he sends him a bigger smack. What happens? He wakes up in the morning, and the investment firm that he invests with declares that they're being invested by the SEC for a Ponzi scheme, for this, for that, and in reality his money is locked up. Or the investments that he has declare that they're cooking the books and the investment goes down by 80 or 90%. Or perhaps there is simply a market crash. Or perhaps 1.5 million different reasons happen. And all of a sudden, everything that was holding him still and not losing his mind because his whole world is really collapsing, all the other messages that he's avoiding are happening, but he's avoiding them. That one thing also collapses. Kadosh Baruch Hu uses tools. Sometimes he'll have to use people, but not just people that deserve to be used as the tools. As it is written, Megalgelin zchut al yedei decay, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses agents that are already guilty to deliver another person's punishment. He has a person that is a nasty, evil person, and he himself is nasty and evil. He is evil in one thing. His friend is also evil in one thing. He likes to cheat and lie and be immoral, perhaps waste seed, maybe even cheat on his wife, and his friend goes along with him once in a while too. It's not a surprise that one day he wakes up and his wife tells him, I'm leaving you. You're leaving me? Why are you leaving me? I got $5 million in the bank. I found somebody that really loves me. What? Somebody really loves you? Who loves you more than me? I have $1 million house for you. Yeah, well, somebody else has a $2 million house. And you know him. I know him. $2 million house. Only person I know. That's what? My brother, my cousin, my best friend. Huh? HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the shidduch. Why? He was evil, you were evil, both of you deserved evil. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the shidduch. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the shidduch. The amount of adultery and immorality in the world is literally hitting peaks on a daily basis. The amount of calls and messages that I get every single day of all of these stories is literally, it's blowing my mind. How many people have literally taken adultery as simply another act of life? Cheating and lying has become standard in people's lives. And everyone is always surprised that it's their best friend or their accountant or the gardener or the guy at the store or their partner in the office. It's always somebody they know that is part of this crime. And they don't understand why. The reason is simple. Torah tells you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in the Bet Din of Shamayim, every day he gets the bill from you and from her and from him. All of you are doing things that are obviously inappropriate, or else you wouldn't deserve this damage. You are doing whatever you're doing that deserves a punishment. Hashem sends you small calls, small messages, get your attention, babkis, you're ignoring him. Okay, your wife also, she does her own immodesty, immorality, walks around half naked, does whatever she wants, posts her pictures on the internet, and so on and so on. She's committing sins on a regular basis. Hashem tries to give her a call. Doctor calls her. Listen, we found a lump. We found a this. We found that. Ignores everything. Still walks around like a putza. Okay. The other guy, the accountant, the lawyer, the doctor, the whoever, also has a bill similar to yours. He does this. He does that. He does this. So in essence, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, look at this. What a great shidduch. What a great shidduch. He is not getting my message, so he deserves for me to give him a bigger message. She, Shem Yishmor V'Yatzil. Hashem is telling on himself, may I save her, this woman. This guy also deserves. Let's make a shidduch from all of them. They're all going to destroy each other's lives. Now this may sound evil. It happens every single day. It happens every single day. In practically all secular communities. And unfortunately, sometimes even in religious. Sometimes in religious communities. But not so much. Not anywhere near much. But I did hear enough stories, and I did witness enough stories that it is infiltrating, this filth is infiltrating the religious communities too. Now, it doesn't always come in the form of adultery. Sometimes it comes in other places. Loss of money. Person works 20 years, saves a lot of money. All of a sudden, somebody comes up to him with a great deal, a great investment, guaranteed you'll make 10, 15, 20, 30% a year. Psh, you have any track record? Yeah, my track record goes all the way from here till when I started Disneyland. The guy has a track record. He tells you, I worked at Disneyland, shows you a picture with him and Mickey Mouse. He's going to start a park in Florida. He's going to have all this companies, Sony, Boney, this one, that one. Real story I'm telling you. And his partner worked for the U.S. Open. Psh, what a track record. One guy started Disneyland practically. The other one, U.S. Open. These guys have the best history in the world. They have a nice presentation. All they're asking for is $10, $20 million. What's the big deal? To make 100. Listen, I worked hard for this $10 million. Why not make it into 100? You'd be doing me a favor. I won't have to work so hard. So they get in front of a bunch of unfortunate investors. And one of those unfortunate investors was actually one of our clients. And he calls us. He says, listen, we got these guys from Disneyland and from US Open that want to start the next big thing. Why don't you guys review the information? Listen, you have an account with us. This is usually something we charge for, but we'll do it for free because we're hoping that maybe one day he'll give us more money. Needless to say, we don't know that he's going to end up losing all of his money, this poor guy, him and all of his friends. But I review the information. Within somewhere around 5 to 7 minutes, I look at it and I say this is a Ponzi scheme. My brother, God bless him, says, what do you mean? 5, 7 minutes, it's a Ponzi scheme? You're calling a guy that built Disneyland and the other guy that built the US Open a Ponzi scheme? Come on, you don't believe anybody. You think you're the only... I tell him, listen, Ponzi scheme. Why Ponzi scheme? I said, I can't prove it yet, but I know it's a Ponzi scheme, for sure. I show him a few things. Long story short, we tell the investor, this is something to stay away from. He's like, listen, I need you to come down here and explain it to them and also talk to the guys. Disneyland and US Open are over here. Why don't you talk to them? Maybe you can fix it for them. So we jump on a plane. We go to North Carolina. We meet the guy Henry and the rest of his fellow poor people that have a lot of money. And unfortunately, that's all they have. And we meet the US Open and the Disneyland guy. And we tell him, listen, all this money, yeah. And I start listing problems, and they can't fix it. They can't fix it, and they just realize that they're not in the hole. They're in a sewer. Don't worry, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to come up with answers. I'm going to say, listen, I'm leaving in the next day or so I'm not going to be here for long. So if you can fix it in the next 24 hours, sure. But I don't know how you can fix such a thing. Because they're still denying. Next day, all of a sudden, they have different proposals and so on. It's okay, thank you very much. I tell the investor and the people there, I said, listen, if they were planning on doing what they said they were going to do before I came here, that means there's something wrong with it. And if they could change it that quickly, for sure there's something wrong with it. Don't invest $1 with them. Don't invest $1 with them. But of course, nobody ever listens to me, except the smart people. And they end up investing a bunch of money. They end up investing a bunch of money in Mr. Disney and Mr. US Open. The only connection they have to either one of those organizations is that they took a picture when they went to the US Open and they went to Disneyland. That's the only connection. The rest of it is history. Just like the money of those investors, everything was lost. Everything was lost. Everything was stolen. It was a complete scam from day one. Now, those people that invested, make no mistake about it, even though they got the warning, no warning in the world would have saved them. No warning in the world would have saved them. Why? They deserved to lose for whatever they did in their life. The thieves that stole the money, they wanted to steal. So Hashem used them to steal. Simple. They wanted to steal, so Hashem used them to steal. They're going to get punished severely for it. Hashem has to use somebody to steal the money because these other people need somebody to steal their money. Everybody got their Parnassa, if you get my point. You see, Rabotai Yekarim, when a person understands that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that is making the shiduchim in Shamayim, whoever is hurting you and whoever is helping you is all navigated by Hashem. Surely, you need to say thank you to anyone that's helping you, even though it's Hashem that sent them your way. Surely, you need not love a person if he hurts you, because Hashem sent them, but that doesn't mean that that's okay for him to hurt you. But the point being is, Rabotai, is that a person needs to understand that the only thing that could influence your success is how you act when it comes to Hashem and His Torah. That's the only thing. Whether you sell stocks and bonds or Q-tips to hotel chains, whether you're a plumber or a doctor, whether you're a clerk or you're some CEO, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that could decide whether you'll be a success or a failure. Now sometimes people say, wait a minute, but how is an avrech in a kollel going to ever succeed and have financial comfort as much as the guy that's a CEO of some decent-sized company making $1.5 million a year? How could the avrech that makes a couple of thousand shekels a month and has a few thousand shekels donated from different places, how is he going to have more comfort than the guy that's making $1.5 million? The truth is, Rabotai, that the overwhelming majority of the Torah scholars, the people that truly dedicate their life to Torah, whether it's to teach it or to learn it or both, not only have the comfort, but they have much more comfort than any millionaire or billionaire has in the world. Why? Because our Gemara teaches us that although the sustenance of a person is decided on Rosh Hashana, so are his losses. A person can be decreed to make $1.5 million a year, but to keep only $15,000. Whereas the Avrech is decreed to make $15,000 and to keep $15,000. Now, what's better? Making $1.5 million and see it crash and disappear practically, leaving you with $15,000 left in the bank? Or making $15,000 and you have $15,000. Which one's better? I'll tell you from experience on both sides. $15,000, much better option. This doesn't mean that you won't have some people that are successful in the Torah world. Surely, there's plenty of successes. But the point being is that a large income or even a large amount of money in a bank doesn't necessarily mean that all is well and all is healthy. Because there's a lot more that comes with it. Everyone thinks that a billionaire is going to live forever until he dies. I always use the example of the atheist Steve Jobs because he's perhaps one of the most famous billionaires that ever lived. And he, with all of his billions and all of the successes that he had, simply could not buy himself another minute, despite being a young man and dying because of cancer in his liver. The God that he didn't believe in didn't help him. Why? You don't believe in me. I don't believe in you either. Simple.